Welcome back, everybody. Who's looking for a good laugh that all ages will enjoy? Well, we have just what you're looking for. Clean Comedy is back at Murray Hill Theater, and we're joined by comedian Joey Nickel. Joey, thank you so much for being here, man.
Good to be here.
Good to see you again.
Yeah.
All right, so your headliner, right, is Dr. V.
Yes.
An actual doctor.
He is an actual doctor.
That's awesome.
Vien Pomachan, that's how you pronounce his name.
Okay.
He is the #1 ranked Laotian ear, nose, and throat doctor / comedian in the Southwest Florida area.
That's an amazing title.
That's a very specific title. He is very funny. He has a top 10 dry bar special. If you guys want to check that out on Dry Bar Comedy.
Very cool.
He's got a top 10 special there. Very, very funny dude.
Yeah, we'll have to go check that out. All right, so, you know, and you're the feature. I'm just throwing things around.
Yeah.
See what happens with the wine?
Yeah, this is what you do this is what happens when you day drink on a show.
Exactly. Right?
Just throwing stuff around.
Disclaimer at the bottom we're gonna need, like, golly. Yeah, so all right, so you are the feature, so what can everybody expect?
Yeah, so we're gonna have some great comedy for you. Again, it's gonna be family friendly. You can bring your kids, you can bring your grandma. It's gonna be fine. Mostly I joke about my kids a lot. Lately I've been joking about New Year's resolutions. Do they still do that? People still do New Year's resolutions?
They asked me about it and I told them no. I was like, I don't do a New Year's resolution.
I think they died in 2020. I think so.
Right.
With a lot of other people, but they died. I think people stopped doing them in 2020.
Yeah.
I started them in 2020.
Oh.
That's when I started. Yeah, I had a New Year's resolution starting in 2021 that I have never kept.
Did you do it every year?
And I do it every year. It is I want to fist bump instead of handshake. That's my, it's not a germs thing.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know when to let go.
Gotcha. It's all right.
Right?
All right, so when we end
I just want to, I want to fist bump.
That's how we're going
right?
to end it then. Okay.
That's how I want to go.
right.
It's hard to do at church. They think you're the devil if you do that. So.
So like this morning, you're like dapping everybody up. Like,
yeah,
no,
right. I know. It's hard to do.
Okay, so so I've been made to write jokes before, and it's incredibly hard, right? So when I was in TV writing, we got to pick the genres, and the students were knuckleheads and thought that writing comedy would be easy because like I can be funny. Being funny and writing comedy are two very different things. So talk to me about how you write jokes and just kind of how actually difficult it is.
So it's real tough. I've been doing it for 10 years. It's really, I thought when I first started, and everybody who first starts out thinks they're going to be great at writing comedy, and you have to think that or you'd quit.
Right.
You have to be full of yourself or you'd quit. But what I do is I actually use, I actually have a phone that has a little pen on it, and every time I pull it out, it lets me write a note, and then every time I put it back in my phone, it goes away. I just write 1 word, 2 words. It could be like, my nose feels funny. And then like the next day at an open mic, I'll start to work it out, and then it'll eventually work its way onto a real show.
Very
stuff
cool.
Like that.
Very cool. I like that. That's an interesting process.
Always on.
Yeah.
I'm always taking it in.
I kind of feel like with comedy you have to be though, right? Because so much of comedy, especially stand-up, is going to come from the everyday, right?
Yeah.
It's exposing the absurdity of the now.
And people respond to authenticity. People want to see real stuff. So.
All right, so let me ask you, who is your favorite comedian that you've ever worked with?
Okay, my favorite comedian I have ever worked with is a guy named Ali Sadiq. He's based out of Texas. He's got some really great specials out there if you guys want to check him out. Ali Sadiq is really awesome. But I've worked with a lot. I've worked with all kinds of comedians, but Dusty Slay is another one of my favorites. Dusty Slay is a very good friend of mine. Every time he comes into Florida, I try to work with him if I can.
That's awesome.
Really good guys.
That's very cool. Joey, thank you so very much, man.
I almost see. That's what I'm saying.
I've got you. I got you back, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Make sure you guys go out and check out the Clean Comedy series over there at Murray Hill Theater. It is absolutely cool. Jordan, what you got?